Welcome to the New Mexico Workforce Connections virtual services. It's great to have you here for the Social Media for Job Seekers workshop. We'll spend about 30 minutes on this presentation. Using social media, posting and putting photos and content on sites like Facebook can have unintended consequences in many different areas of your life, and this is very true when you're searching for a job. When you are aware of this, you can take steps to manage your social media sites so that social networking becomes a great resource in your job search. Do you have any social media accounts? Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram? If you do, let's talk about how to use those to find a job. And if you don't, there are easy ways to get started to add this resource to your toolbox. Here are our workshop topics. First, we'll have an overview of job search networking and why it is the most important and efficient way to find a job. Next, we'll learn how online social media networking can help you or hurt you while you're job seeking. Then I'll give you some tips and tricks for managing your Facebook account or other social media sites while looking for work. And last, we'll have an overview of the basics of creating a social media account to build your network. So what is networking? There is both an informal and more formal way to do this while you're a job seeker. And I can tell you, any amount of networking will help. But I recommend that you first go to your family, relatives, friends, and acquaintances and let them know that you're looking for a job and what type of job you're looking for. Then ask them to tell everyone they know the same thing. This is like getting a large group of job search volunteers who are all working for you. Networking is proactive and requires focused effort. It's something you're going to have to do every day. So keep telling new contacts about your job search, remind your family and friends to keep their ears out for you, so that when they do see a job opening, your name is the first one that pops up. Tell everyone. Include comments and updates about your job search in your daily interactions. Tell your barber or hairdresser, your neighbor, your pastor or minister, or even the person at the grocery store. Ask for information, leads, advice, and referrals, and remember to leave every conversation with, "Hey, keep me in mind if you hear anything." Now, during these conversations that you'll be having, promote your skills, your talents, and your accomplishments, because people are going to be more willing to refer you to a position when they know that you're qualified. So ensure that you're keeping up the conversations, you're bringing up your job search in your everyday interactions. That way, your name is fresh on their minds when they see new job postings. Have you heard of the hidden job market? Do you know what that means, or really how many jobs are hidden, or even how to find them? The fact is that most jobs are not publicly advertised when a company is hiring. In fact, 70% of open jobs are hidden from the general public. So that means only 30% of jobs are advertised. So how do you find out about these other jobs? By networking. Companies will typically go through 3 steps to find hires before publicly advertising. First, employers will promote someone who already works for them, so they'll promote from within the organization. About 10% of hires come from promotions from within. So what does that mean for you? If you know the person that was promoted, or you know of a person who knows a person was promoted, you'll know that there's a vacancy at that company and you can send your resume. Second, and most importantly in my opinion, 45% of hires come from internal employee referrals. So the company will ask their employees if they know of anybody who is qualified for that position, and they will be able to refer you or hand that employer your resume. 45%, almost 50% of hires come from employee referrals. And last, 15% of hires come from the database that most companies keep from previous resumes or previous applicants. So they'll keep them on file for, say, 6 months or so. If maybe they were the second choice, or if it didn't work out in the moment for them to hire somebody, they'll keep that resume and look through those and give them a call before publicly advertising these jobs. So for you, if there's a company that you really want to work at, send your resume ahead of time, even if they're not hiring, so they can put you as a potential candidate on file just in case a job opening does come up. When employers are asked about top sources of hires, these are generally the 5 categories that come up most often: referrals, social networks, intern hires, direct applications, and internet job boards. Now, these are the sources of hire after they've publicly advertised. So as referrals were about 50% on our last slide, once they're publicly advertised and people are starting to see it and refer, nearly 80% of hires are coming from those referrals. That's 4 out of every 5 hires is from a referral. That's a huge deal. Coming in next at 56% is the social networking. Companies will post those jobs on social networking or on the social networks. They'll look for your profile via social networks to see whether or not you're a good fit for the company. Following closely at 55% are intern hires. That's just basically when an intern at the company becomes a permanent employee. At 46%, you have the direct applications. That's where you'll walk into an establishment, fill out an application, turn it in, and wait for a call. And at 37% are those internet job boards. This blew me away as we were working on this workshop. 37%. So if you think on our previous slide, only 30% of jobs are publicly advertised. And of those 30%, only 37% are hired via internet job boards. On those job boards, you are getting everybody. Everybody's applying for those same positions. So it makes it very difficult for employers to sift through to find the really qualified candidates. So here, getting referred by people, the top way to get a job. These referrals and having connections through those social networks, top way to get a job. Now, most job seekers are surprised by this. Over 90%, that's just about all employers, are using online social media sites in the recruitment and hiring process. Did you know it was that many? I certainly didn't. Facebook and LinkedIn are the sites most used, so these are the sites we're going to recommend to you as a job seeker because you can find job postings and find people that can help you get back to work. So those are those people leads and those job leads. In addition, on these social media pages, the companies will post detailed company information, and this is going to be incredibly useful to you during the interview process. Most times they're going to ask you, why do you want to work for this company? And instead of just saying, because I need a job, no, that doesn't look good for you. If you're doing your research and getting on their Facebook and LinkedIn profiles, you'll be able to get detailed information about their community involvement, their mission statement, their company values to create a really good response for that question. That'll really set you apart from the other candidates. But what is really important to understand is that employers do more than network and post jobs online. Employers are gathering more information about you after you apply to see if you're a good fit for the company. 28% like to gather more information than is available on your resume. In fact, in this day and age, employers expect to be able to find you and information about you online. 47% say they're less likely to call you if they can't find you online. That's opposite of what I would think, but thinking about it, employers have 2 reasons why an online presence would be important to them. One, if you have an online presence, it shows that you're tech savvy enough to create and maintain a social media page, which probably means you're tech savvy enough to work for the company. And 2, they're able to get a quick little snapshot of who you are as a person. You have 100% control over your social media account, and whatever persona you want to portray to the world comes across from that social media page, and employers want to be able to see that. Now think about employers you've called, or maybe a company that you want to apply to. Now think about them looking for you on Facebook and connecting through a mutual friend to see your information or your photos. Almost all employers, 92%, are using social media sites for one or more of the hiring activities, including screening, referrals, vacancy posting, and talent search. Your information or your lack of information can screen you in or out of getting an interview or even getting hired. They look to see if you know anyone in common so that they could call that person and ask about you. They'll post jobs and then they look for candidates with word searches or in group sites, for example. I actually had this happen with me. I had an employer who was actually my employer in Japan. I moved back to the States and I applied for positions where I was living. And it turns out that my potential employer knew of my employer in Japan. So he was able to reach out to her and ask her, hey, give me some information about this person. How was their work ethic? What did they do? Were they good for you? And she was a wonderful supervisor. We had a good working relationship and she was able to give me a really great reference. And I ended up getting the job because he was able to find through my Facebook page that she was my friend. So he connected with her. And it turned out all right for me, which was really great. There are also stories, though, of employers starting to look even after you get the job at your social media page. And if people are starting to post inappropriate content, things with racial slurs, intolerance, all kinds of stuff, people have actually lost their jobs because of what they're posting on social media. So paying attention is important as a job seeker, but it's also important to maintain your privacy and professionalism even after you get the job. So what sites are employers using most often? Let's talk about LinkedIn for a minute. Do you have a LinkedIn account? If you don't, you might want to create at least a basic profile for yourself on this social media site. Remember, 92% of employers are using social media for hiring, and of that 92%, 77% are using LinkedIn. However, research is showing that only 30% of job seekers are using LinkedIn or even have a LinkedIn account. So what does that mean for you? Let's make that LinkedIn account. This could be a really great way for you to stand out and have less competition for those posted positions. Now, 63% of employers are using Facebook, and up to 25% are starting to use Instagram. Twitter and Pinterest are also becoming more and more used. Here's another interesting fact to consider, especially for our young job seekers aged 18 to 34. A survey found that 73% say they found their current job through a social media platform. So that means that these jobs are being posted and they're getting filled. 73% are getting filled through these social media sites. So these are the best bet for you while you're job seeking. Now we're going to talk a little bit about what employers say they're learning about job seekers on social media sites, and more importantly, what they may be finding out about you. The good news is that many employers say the information on the candidate site led to their hire. 32% say this. Background information supported the job qualifications. The candidate site conveyed a professional image. Their personality came across as a good fit with company culture. They were well-rounded and showed a wide range of interests, and they showed good communication skills or great communication skills. The bad news is that over half of employers found reasons not to interview or hire an individual because of provocative or inappropriate photos, videos, or information, drinking or drug use, discriminatory remarks related to race, religion, or gender, poor communication skills, including an overuse of slang, poor sentence structure, a lot of typos, even the improper use of there, and there. We want to make sure it's looking good. And they found that 25% of people had bad-mouthed previous employers or colleagues. That's bad business. Do not post anything about any previous employers that has anything negative to do with them, because it's going to show your next employer, one, maybe that you're not a team player, that you're willing to post these things, and it just really looks bad for you. It's probably going to filter you out of even the interview process. So again, take a moment to reflect, not only to think about your own site, but your friends' sites where you may be tagged in a photo. Make sure you have those privacy settings set to where it's not going to show up on your feed. And we're going over all of this, not for me to challenge your freedom of speech or to say that having fun is a bad thing. Not at all. Employers want to see that you have a personality, that you know how to have fun. They just want to see it done in a little more professional manner. So it helps you, where we're wanting you to look at it differently while you're looking for a job, so your social media helps you and it doesn't limit or hurt your chances of finding that great job. So you need to be smart about it. I recently created a new Facebook page. I originally created my page back in 2008. And so I just wanted to see how it's changed. And so I took on the role of a job seeker. It took me 2.5 hours to change all the default settings in order to create privacy, limit access, and control who I wanted to share the information with and my pictures with. It took 2.5 hours. This is one of the most important things you can do as a job seeker, though. It's to go into your site and review every single one of your settings. Increase your level of privacy and review what's out there and what it says about you. And it might even be in your best interest to delete some of your stuff. Also, did you know that there are recruiting services that employers can hire to create reports about your content and activity on social media sites? This is becoming more and more common for employers to request a social media hiring report in addition to those traditional background checks that show your criminal history and your driving record and all of that. They're wanting both of those to see whether or not you're a good fit for the company. If you already have a Facebook or LinkedIn account, here's a checklist to get you started for job proofing your site. First, delete any unprofessional posts and pictures that you don't want a potential employer to see. That would be any posts of you drinking, anything that would have drug use, any content that you've shared that's just inappropriate. In addition to this, that falls under the umbrella, while it's not unprofessional, I feel like it's in your best interest to leave off any political affiliations or political posts while you are a job seeker. You have the freedom of speech and you can say whatever it is you want to say, but it's in your best interest not to give an employer any reason to not give you an interview or to give you the job. Update your personal profile, update your education history, your work history, and list any skills relevant to the job that you're looking for. For me right now, I'm not currently a job seeker, so my education shows that I went to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and while I desperately wish that I had gone to Hogwarts, I clearly haven't, so if I were a job seeker, I would definitely update that to show my education and all of my accomplishments, because I'm incredibly proud of the things that I've done and the things that I've accomplished, just like you should be. So make sure you sell yourself on those social media pages. Use a professional picture dressed ready for work. On Indeed, you should have just a picture of yourself dressed as if you were going to an interview. On your Facebook page, because it's more of a personal platform, you can have any sort of picture of you or you and a loved one or maybe a group of friends. Just make sure you don't have drinks in your hand, that your t-shirt doesn't have any profanity or anything inappropriate. Just a nice clean photo of yourself would be great. And consider those privacy options to include hiding your friends and likes, timeline and tag review, and turn off tagging or photo identification. This photo identification came out a couple years ago, and my mom and I look so similar that every time somebody posted a picture of her or she posted a picture of herself, it would automatically tag me in it. So I had to turn off that photo identification on my Facebook page because it kept linking me with my mom. Change your About Me in your quote section to read like a cover letter and include positive quotes from former supervisors. Make sure you get their permission first, and I'm sure they would be fine with it, or don't put who said it, but update it, have it read like a cover letter, sell yourself on these social media pages, because that's what employers want to see. They want to see positive information about you that give you more than just what your resume says. They want to see a personality. And do some proofreading or have somebody else proofread your account. Like we mentioned before, bad communication, the poor grammar, bad sentence structure, poor capitalization, and overuse of slang, all of those are going to be huge turnoffs to companies that are looking to hire you. And at the end, check out your Facebook profile from the employer's view. Facebook has a cool way of allowing you to view your profile as the public. So if you look at the button under the question mark in the top right-hand corner of the home screen, it'll have the privacy checkup and the privacy shortcuts. You're going to want to go to View As and View As the Public, and it'll show you your Facebook page. It should have your cover photo, your profile picture, and any of the relevant About Me information that you want employers to see. So make sure you have all of those settings fixed on your Facebook and LinkedIn profiles. Here are some more tips for how to use your Facebook as a job seeker that you may not have been aware of. So having that professional profile picture, the professional profile and the professional profile photo with no graphics or widgets. I've seen a lot of those cutesy little decorations for Facebook profile pictures that promote disease awareness or will boast your favorite football or baseball team or even which political party you're affiliated with. It's just best to have a nice clean profile picture. Update your work and education history on your profile in your About section. We spoke about that before. Keep it updated, sell yourself, put that you graduated with a 3.5 GPA, put it on there. That's all really great relevant information. Update your friends, ask for information, leads, and connections. Right now, using social media platforms is more important than ever because we're living through this global pandemic where we've all been ordered to stay home. We've been given a stay-at-home order. We're not supposed to leave except for essential functions. And so using your social media platform will allow you to continue your job search and continue to network with all of the friends that you have connected on your Facebook page while not leaving your house. So use these social media tools to keep looking for a job, because I promise you there are still businesses out there that are looking to hire. Frequently edit your status with positive posts, volunteer efforts, and community activities that show that you're action-oriented. So if you do choose to have your wall or all of your posts public, make sure they show you in the best light possible. Post specific types of jobs you're looking for on your wall. Again, like we're updating our friends for information, leads, and connections, post it specifically. You can even post your resume onto your Facebook page and make it shareable so your friends can share your resume to potential employers and they can help you out. It's still like having that large group of job search volunteers for you. It's just in a more digital social media platform. So as much as this global pandemic has us, stuck in our houses, we can still continue to put our best foot forward and still continue to do that job search even throughout this these challenging times. Join groups on Facebook. You can join professional groups by your current job title or by your desired job title. Alumni groups are super, super great resources because everybody who's graduated from that college that you went to or that high school can be linked in on those pages, and you can post on there, hey, I'm looking for a job. Does anybody have any recommendations? And industry or career-oriented groups. Those are great too, to give you tips and tricks on how to update your resume, maybe additional training that you could take to set you apart from the other candidates. Ask questions, get involved on those groups. And search for and friend people that can help. I know we're talking about Facebook right now, but LinkedIn has a wonderful way of linking you with people in your community, linking you with people that went to your college, linking you with people in that desired career field. It's a wonderful, wonderful resource for you to link and friend and get associated with all of those different people. And last, use that jobs on Facebook feature. I think it's a fairly new feature, and at least it is to me. I didn't know about it until we started working on this workshop. And so what you can do is you can look for jobs on Facebook, and you can use the filter to filter it down to your desired job title or career field, the desired salary, your desired hours, and even your desired location. And it'll pop up everything that's available in your area. And you can just hit that apply now, and it'll tell you what you need to do. Upload your resume, fill out the application, give more information, submit a cover letter or an interest letter. It'll tell you what is needed for that particular position. So in summary, if you're new to social media, we encourage you to at least create a basic profile and a good profile on both LinkedIn and Facebook, and use those job search features. Make sure that your profile is detailed and it has a personality. It has your character, your achievements, things like that. Utilize the site's navigation and search functions to find people, jobs, and company information. Keep it updated and keep it current. So keep posting on there so they can see that you've been posting in 2020, not that your last post was from 2009. Manage that access and privacy, especially on your Facebook page, where you want to keep it more professional instead of more personal. And monitor views and requests often. I would say do it daily, especially if you're actively looking for a job. LinkedIn is a wonderful resource because it'll tell you who's actually looked at your profile. In addition, it'll grade you on whether or not your profile is, I guess, quote unquote, good enough. It'll tell you, add your education, add your work history, add the things that you want to do, and it'll grade you to see, okay, this is a really good profile, and it'll make it available to more employers. And in case you were wondering about social media, whether or not you're a user, here are some compelling facts. So let's start with LinkedIn, which is the employer's favorite. Remember, 77% of employers are using LinkedIn. LinkedIn has 630 million members, 177 million in the US. There are 30 million companies registered with LinkedIn. There were 20 million open job listings on the site as of September 2019. And that number is only going up. So especially right now, with them not being able to see people face to face, with the success of LinkedIn, the amount of job openings are only going to continue to grow. More than 85% of recruiters use LinkedIn regularly. 85% are on there checking it out, looking for people who are qualified for those positions. So your LinkedIn profile is discoverable through millions of search engines and on searches and on LinkedIn. So if you are actively on LinkedIn, if your profile has that good grade, that it's looking good, you have all of the relevant information, when somebody puts your name into the Google search, that's going to be the first thing that pops up. And that's going to be so powerful for you during this job search because they'll be able to see your profile picture, all of your qualifications, all of your education history, and it's just going to give you a leg up on the competition. Now, Facebook. Facebook has more users than the population of the United States, China, and Brazil all combined. Now, to start an account isn't hard on Facebook, and it isn't hard on LinkedIn either. You saw on the previous slide, you just go to linkedin.com and you create that account. Same with Facebook. Again, on Facebook, though, it did take me quite a long time to go through and set all of my settings to where I was comfortable with the public and the personal part of it, people viewing my profile. But here are some basic facts about Facebook. There's 2.41 billion members on Facebook. So if Facebook was a country, it would be the biggest country in the world. There's 190 million Facebook users in the US. 63% of recruiters are using Facebook, and Facebook can post jobs in two places, either on the company's specific Facebook site under the Jobs tab, and you can scroll down and hit Apply Now, or on the separate Jobs on Facebook page, where you can filter and do the search that we talked about earlier, and you can hit Apply Now and search and apply through there. So like and follow any companies that interest you because their new job postings will pop up in your feed. And the more active you are on these social media accounts and their social media accounts, the more frequently it's going to pop up in your feed so you can see as soon as they post new jobs. So we've just covered a few basics during this workshop. I recommend that you get more information, and here are some articles that can help you read to get tips on how to make your social media work better for you as a job seeker. Thank you for joining me on New Mexico Workforce Connections Virtual Services. I would just like to wish you the best of luck in your job search. And remember, we're here to help. Contact your local Workforce Connection office for more information on social media or about any other questions you have related to your job search. The next slide will give you all the contact information needed to reach out to your local Workforce Connection office.